I'm Big Wack from 107 Underground, one of the original founders from the second generation of UGs.
I'm so true. And I'm Big Chip, second generation, hung out with first generation U's, Underground Crips.
Wack, what block did you grow up on?
107th Street, between Normandy and Dinker. The best.
You know that. Also off 107th, between Dinker and Normandy.
What other big names lived on you guys' block?
Oh,
Choo Choo, Woody, Big Fly, Droopy, Cholo,
OG,
and then if you want to go to the OGs,
Rainbow, Hulk, Bruno,
OG,
Ping,
Ray,
Penguin,
Mr. Peoples,
OG Cue Ball,
yeah,
original Cue Ball.
so many.
Oh my goodness.
That was original Bloc Crip before we started UG.
07 blocks.
What year did you guys move over there?
Hell, I've been over there since what, 1970?
I moved over there in 1969. I stayed 3 parts on 107.
Yeah, shit.
What schools did you guys attend?
Yeah. I went to the School of Hard Knocks, Century Park, Henry Clay, and Washington.
And I went to Manhattan, Henry Clay, and Washington.
What year did you guys become affiliated with UG?
Into 74, 75, like the summer of 74, 75, when we left out of elementary. We all tried to come together, and because gangs was coming out, so we was like, what we gonna be? We was trying to figure out what we gonna be. Dinker boys, we could have been in hoods, we could have been blocks.
We was just leaning.
Yeah.
We was working on finding our way.
Yeah.
Because we were nothing but young kids.
Yeah,
And we still having fun, though.
Exactly. And we looked up to Gary Newman.
Yeah.
Gary Newman was UG.
Matter of fact, OG Leprechaun.
Yeah, he was OG Leprechaun, and he was from Hoover, but he was over there with Momo and them, and he came back over here because all his big brothers was UGs, and he was like, hey, I'm UG. And we used to go in his garage, and we used to see the roll call of all the UGs, and we was like, we gonna be baby UGs. And we started out, baby UG. Started hitting it on the wall.
So at that time, UGs and blocks and neighborhood was all relatively new, right?
Neighborhoods and blocks was already out. They was NBCs at the point of time. When we came out with Baby UGs, they was already out. They was neighborhood block Crips.
A lot of older guys tell me UGs was the biggest set, the single set in the West Side period.
It's
You
stretched.
guys remember that?
It's stretched.
It was history. We didn't know that, but when we came out, we found out later. We just, from our generation on coming up, we heard of UG, and that was the neighborhood, and so we decided to come and then found out that it was one of the biggest hoods.
When you guys went to Washington, was there any rivalries there?
Everybody was there.
Yeah, it was rivalries. The Hoovers, the rivalries at Washington.
First day of school.
Yeah, all the time, because the Hoovers always came deep.
Yeah, and it was always, first day of school, it was always settled. Territory, whatever boundaries with everything, it was always established.
Yeah.
The first day of school, you know what I'm saying? Either with knuckles or somebody who had a pistol. And a lot of cats right now, what they call a Saturday night special, or 38 right there. If you want to get technical with it, a Saturday night special ain't nothing but a 22. That's it. Because it was carried either on Friday or Saturday night. That's it. So all the other shit it don't matter. It wasn't no real.
And basically all the rivalries came from Henry Clay. It just followed over. Because that was the 107 who was 11 Deuces, and us, the blocks, the neighborhoods, the Raymonds, that was our high school.
And then you when you come out with the Harvard Gangsters.
They was in by the shotgun, by Henry Clay.
Yeah, so they was on what, 124, 24?
In Western,
by Henry Clay.
Yeah.
You know, them was
that was the Raymonds' really #1 enemy. And as us with the hooking with the Raymonds back in the day, because us and Raymonds was like peas in a pile, you know. So their enemies was our enemies.
Yeah.
Name all the cliques of UG. What streets?
We got the 107s, we got the 106, the 105,
All the way
the
down.
103s. And then, you know, we had homies on the original, our big homies was 108.
Yeah.
But we've never pushed the 108 like that. So,
but
you know,
majority of the time, being I stayed on 107 right there by Big Hawk and Rainbow and them. They met up on 107 on a regular basis every day, all the time. Whether they was talking about this, that, they played music. They did all kind of shit. So I mean, you know, they was always right there on the 7.
You guys familiar with the Underground House?
oh yeah, we heard many stories. I never went in there. That's before my time. But that's how the UG started, from the Underground House.
What year did 10 Trey come out?
Oh, thirds, they came out in the 80s.
Yeah, they came out about.
They came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
Cause that all formed, that came all right because everybody really started pushing. Once they got the carburetor shop with Choo-Choo, the Johnson's carburetor shop right there on Century,
Yeah.
once that came about, then everybody, you know, more people started hanging on the first, the second.
Yeah.
So we just,
So you say about your middle 80s, because first we really didn't do streets. We was the original, came back 107.
everybody hung on the 7.
And then during the time, and then it started being, because the third started getting deeper, so they started saying, oh, third, but every time you look around, it was throwing up the 7. So,
I mean, you know, and us,
so we used to always clown them
and
about
us,
that.
we went back and forth to the 7 to the 6, from the 7 to the 6. Then we got cats involved on the 5.
Yeah.
So it was.
What happened with the 10-5 gangsters? How'd that come about?
I'm gonna let him tell that.
Well, a 10-5s came out like in time, I say about 81, 82 they start. Probably like, 81, 82. Sad Cat, Pee Wee,
Chino.
Night Owl, Chino, a couple homies, they were coming out with the 10-5 gangster. And at the time, we really wasn't feeling the gangster because we was hanging with the Rollin 60s. And they had their little few, so we was like, oh, these niggas over here trying to claim gangster. So it was like we was going over there and pushed them, in Big Devil from 107. Andre Ransom was messing with one of our little homies, Little Beer Can's sister. So, you know, and we was thinking that he was trying to turn them to Hoovers. So we was over there pushing it like, oh, ain't no Hoovers coming on this side of Normandy, you know. So, and then it was like, and I think they start forming because we started letting them long as they wasn't turning on that side of Normandy. It was all straight. So I think about 81, 82.
Was Pee Wee part of UG before that?
No, Pee Wee was 10-5. Pee Wee started, his brother Big Blue from Hoover. Pee Wee actually was a Hoover before he was a 10-5, claiming Hoover.
What gangs did you bump heads with the most in the 1980s?
In feuding,
Yeah.
it was the Hoovers,
By far.
the Trays, and the Watergates. The Watergates was our #1 enemies back then.
Wow. You know what that beef was over?
It was over writing on the wall. When we first started going to Henry Clay in 75, Choo-Choo, my nigga, rest in peace, wrote on the wall UGC Choo-Choo. And Big Chop from Watergate turned the U to a W and crossed out your name. And we fighted them all the way to 92. Over fucking writing on the wall.
It's crazy.
Can you explain what NBC was all about?
Neighborhood Bloc Crip.
Neighborhood
So
Block
two
Crip.
different gangs that was
Coming
It was one gang. When we
gang.
first started banging UG, Neighborhood Block was one gang. They was NBC.
They was actually one and one. Then they merged together, and then they split up behind some kind of differences. You know,
Yeah.
there was always some kind of difference behind something.
I used
Something
to
small.
I used to pass by Western a long time ago and see UGBC a lot. What was it, like a alliance?
That's always been far as like that right there, you say like UCBC, that's ever since we came back in, we've been part of like, it's been like a little family. That's right there, that's something that, the blocks and the UGs, that's something that should never feud, should never have gripe over a female, dog, cat, nothing. For the simple fact that we all grew up together. We are, I mean, cause that's our, you gotta look at it from Century to Western, to Imperial to Normandy. That's a hell of a community. Very few apartments, everything is over there is houses. And a lot of niggas over there, their parents got money, shit like that, spoiled little fuckers and everything else and so on. But that's just basically Underground and Blocks is like one family to me. It's been like that since I've been coming up. Because I ran through it, I know the streets back and forth. I can go to the streets blindfolded. So
my view on that is that when the NBC got raggedy, they came and merged with the UG because we was having little difficulties with the neighborhoods on some little bullshit. So the blocks came and they was, I really don't want to go deep in that, but it was like a feud with the blocks and the neighborhoods over power. So we was having little issues with the 111s too. So us and blocks like aligned together.
What about, can you tell me about the Rollin 100s, how that came about?
In the county jail, that started in 4700 when they moved all the Rollin and all of us out of 4800. They moved us to 4700, and we was kicking it. It was UGs, the Raymonds, the blocks, the neighborhoods, which was the founders of the Rollin 100 car, and Mr. Goo started a Rich Rollin 100 rap. You know, everybody know that Rich Rollin 100 rap. When I say Rich, I want the olds to say Rollin. And we started the 100 gang in the county jail, which came with the UGs, the blocks, the neighborhoods, and the Raymonds. That was your original Rollin 100 crew.
So you put the Raymonds in the hundreds?
The Raymonds was hundreds. It wasn't no ifs and buts about it.
What year are we talking about?
shit.
86, 87, somewhere around there. I'm not sure on the dates, but around that time.
Alright, this is what I want you to do for me. Name all the different sets that became part of the hundreds. If you could name them all.
UGs, blocks, in hoods, the Raymonds fell off, neighborhoods, HTH, and Watergates.
What about the Butlons?
And Butlons.
Yes.
When and how did Hard Time and Butlon become part of this historic set of gangs that we've been talking about?
Okay, to me, with the Watergates, the Butlons, and the HTHs, I guess they was having problems in other areas, so they wanted to be a part of something stronger.
Well, I mean, it ain't. It's good. It's good to have structure. You know what I'm saying? You know, a good backbone. It's always good to have that right there. You know what I'm saying? And cause, I mean, when we was going through it, going through life and what we was going through, you couldn't do it all by yourself. Of course, you always needed somebody to help you. You know, a lot of us ain't shit without our homeboys like Tupac say, but we do go through it. And
But it takes structure.
yeah, it needs structure.
But you have a lot of hoods that want to be in it, but then you want to diss other hoods. And then with being in one solid hood, just like I tell people now about the Rollin 100s. You know, it's a jail gang, and you need to get yourself straight in your own gang before you start claiming multiple hoods. Because once you say hundreds, you claiming a multiple sets.
Right.